Welcome to LinguaWire English A2. Today, we have two stories. One about a big loan to Ukraine and oil flowing again, and the other about Taiwan's president cancelling a trip to Africa. Please follow us to practice your English every day with the latest episode. For transcripts and quizzes, visit linguawire.com. Hello, Sarah. You are LinguaWire's world news reporter. Can you tell us what happened with the EU loan to Ukraine?
Hi, Daniel. Yes, the European Union agreed to give Ukraine a big loan of 90 billion euros. This money will help Ukraine with its defence and other needs. The loan was agreed last December but was stopped because Hungary said no.
Why did Hungary stop the loan?
Hungary's leader, Viktor Orban, stopped the loan because oil supplies stopped. Ukraine said the oil pipeline was broken after a Russian attack. Hungary wanted the oil to start flowing again before the loan could be paid.
So what is new now? Has the oil started again?
Yes, the oil started flowing again. Ukraine fixed the pipeline on Tuesday. Then EU ambassadors met in Brussels and gave the first approval for the loan. The loan will probably be officially agreed on Thursday.
That sounds important. Why does this loan matter for Ukraine and Europe?
It is very important. Ukraine's Deputy Prime Minister said the loan is a matter of life and death. 2/3 of the money will help Ukraine's defence. The rest will help Ukraine's economy. It also shows that Russia cannot win this conflict.
What about Hungary? Has something changed there?
Yes, Viktor Orban lost the election last Sunday. The new leader, Peter Magyar, wants better relations with the EU. This change helped the loan move forward.
One last question. What is interesting or surprising about this story?
One thing to notice is the pipeline is called Druzhba. It had not worked since January 27th. Now, oil will flow to Hungary and Slovakia again from Thursday. This is a big change after months of problems.
Thanks, Sarah. What could happen next with this loan and the pipeline?
The loan will help Ukraine for many months. If the pipeline keeps working, Hungary and Slovakia will get more oil. This will help their energy needs too. The EU wants to support Ukraine for a long time.
So, the loan and the pipeline are both very important for the future. Now, Adam, you are LinguaWire's Asia and Africa reporter. Can you explain why Taiwan's president cancelled his trip to Africa?
Hello, Daniel. Taiwan's President Lai Ching-te had to cancel his trip to Eswatini, a country in Africa. This happened because 3 African countries, Seychelles, Mauritius, and Madagascar, stopped his plane from flying over their airspace.
Why did these countries stop the plane?
Taiwan says China asked these countries to stop the flight. China says it did not force them but praised the countries for their decision. The 3 countries said they do not officially recognize Taiwan as a country.
Is this the first time something like this has happened?
Yes, it is the first time Taiwan's leader had to cancel a trip because of flight problems. Eswatini is one of Taiwan's few diplomatic friends and the only one in Africa.
Why does China not want Taiwan to travel freely?
China says Taiwan is part of China. China wants Taiwan to be under its control one day. China has said it might use force if needed. So China does not like Taiwan's president and calls him a troublemaker.
What did Taiwan's president say about this situation?
President Lai said China's actions show the risks of strong governments that want to control others. He called China's pressure coercive actions. He also said this hurts the international order, meaning the rules countries follow.
That is a strong statement. What could happen next in this story?
It is hard to say. Taiwan may try to find other ways to visit its friends. The situation shows how tense relations are between Taiwan and China.
What is also worth noting about this story?
One thing people often miss is that this shows how politics can affect travel. When countries do not agree, it can stop important trips. This makes international relations more difficult.
Thank you, Adam. This story shows how politics can affect travel and international relations. Let's look at 3 words from the first story about the EU loan and the oil pipeline. The theme is energy and money. First word, pipeline. A pipeline is a long tube that moves oil or gas from one place to another. In the story, the Druzhba pipeline carries oil from Ukraine to Hungary and Slovakia. For example, the water flows through the pipeline to the city. Second word, loan. A loan is money that one group gives to another, and the money must be paid back later. The EU agreed to give a €90 billion loan to Ukraine. For example, I took a loan from the bank to buy a car. Third word, repair. To repair means to fix something that is broken. Ukraine repaired the broken oil pipeline so the oil could flow again. For example, the mechanic will repair my bike tomorrow. Now, for the second part, let's look at the verb cancel. To cancel means to stop something planned from happening. It is a regular verb, so we say cancel, cancelled, and cancelling. For example, I cancel my appointment. Or, she cancelled the meeting yesterday. This verb is useful when plans change or stop. That is all for today's language recap. Follow LinguaWire for the latest daily episode and build your daily language habit with us.